Hi, it's Misty Rao again. So our topic for today is discipline, and this is something that I do struggle with being a new supervisor. So I reached out to our human resources department and they were able to give me some helpful hints. They were also able to set me up with some training, and it has helped me tremendously. So if you also struggle, I would suggest reaching out to your human resources department. So like I stated, the category for today is discipline. And the definition is the action taken by the supervisor to prevent employees from breaking the rules. If you allow an employee to break the rules, you're just showing that it's okay to do so. You're also showing the other employees that you don't have their best interests at heart. So you want to make sure that you do address those issues. So there's 4 steps to do so. The first one is a warning. It can either be written or verbal. And you want to make sure that you mention what the problem behavior is, how the behavior affects the organization, how and when the employee is expected to change, and what actions will be taken if the employee's behavior does not change. Something to remember whenever you're given a warning is to keep it brief and to the point and let them know suspension is the next step. If they're aware of that, most of the time they will go ahead and fix the issue or the problem, or you may not know what else is going on and they may let you know that as well. So if they do not follow the warning stipulations, next is suspension. The definition for suspension is the requirement that an employee not come to work for a set period of time. The employee is not paid for this time off. Things to remember are the length can be anywhere from 1 day to a month. It would depend on why you are suspending them. And again, I would get with your human resources department of your company. After that is the demotion. The definition for a demotion is the transfer of an employee to a job involving less responsibility and usually a lower pay. Normally this happens whenever an employee is goofing off consistently or is in trouble. It's also seen as a sign of punishment. So with my experience, I have noticed that once you get to the demotion phase, most of the time the person will end up leaving because they are not happy because it is a punishment. If that still does not work, last but not least is dismissal. And the definition is relieving an employee of their job. It's also known as a termination or a discharge. Why this does not happen all the time is because now you have to take time out of your day to hire somebody, train somebody, and get somebody else in that may work better with your staff. Sometimes you have to do this to make your work environment a better place for your other employees. Like I stated, if you ignore the problem, it'll just keep going on. So you do have to go ahead and follow the 4 steps to make the work environment a better place. When you have the conversation, it's very hard, but you need to try and stay on track with them and make sure that they know that you mean business. Reach out to HR if it makes you feel any better like I did. And another thing that my mother-in-law always used to tell me is make sure to document. Documentation is a very key part whenever it comes to disciplining, because if you do not have any type of documentation, it's your word against theirs.